Don't go in big cities. You'll never make it there. I remember when we were finishing school, like when you finished secondary education, like most of our friends would feel like they need to go to Lusaka, they need to go to the Copper Belt so that they can make their lives better. And most of the times there have been so much migration, like people like moving from small cities going to big cities and thinking that that is where life is better and all that stuff. We've got this notion to say people that are doing great, they're in Lusaka, people that are doing great, they're in the Copper Belt and all that stuff. But that's not the case. And with the coming up of this social media, like most of the times you see so many big brands, big businesses that are posting out things and they're happening, they're living best of their lives. And when you just look at that, you just feel like, this is the best life. And when you look at that, you feel to say, no, I need to go to the city for me to make it there and all that stuff. You see that? So this is the great notion. This is what people think about. Like, why would you think like when you go to Lusaka, you will make it better more than when you're in Bala? Why would you think like that? No, when I go to Copper Belt, I'll make it better. My friend, if you are in Mbala, if you are in Mpulungu, if you are in Kasama, and you have never made it, don't think when you go to Lusaka, that's when you're going to make it. No. And why would you go to Lusaka? Why would you go to the city without even a plan? Those people that leave, they go in those cities and all that stuff, they make it and all that. There are people that have moved there, they've gone there with a vision, with plans and all that stuff. And I'm not saying that you cannot go there when you want to. You can actually go there. But think about this. This is a person who wants to live, this is a person who wants to live in Mpolokoso, going to Lusaka, because they feel to say Lusaka will do better business there and all that stuff. Look at this. In Mpolokoso, you find that the land for the shop, you find it maybe somewhere around 300, 400, 500, 700. That's the land. But when you go to Lusaka, for you to just afford a shop in town, you start working, you should start counting in 5,000 rand, 7,000 rand, 10,000, 15,000, sometimes in dollars, even $1,000 just a shop to just rent a shop. You see that? So this is a person who feels to say, for them to just make it, they have to go to Lusaka, they have to go to better cities so that they can make it there. My friend, that's just a dream. Okay? That is just a dream. In as much as you are there, you can actually make it there. Wherever you are, you can make it. Whatever village you are, you can make it. And as time goes on, if you have a vision to say you want to live in Lusaka, you want to live in Livingstone, you want to live in Copper Belt and all that, places like Kitwe, Ndola. If you have that vision, my friend, just keep working on that vision. Time will come when you just show itself to say, okay, this time now, I can afford living in Lusaka. Don't go to a place you cannot afford to live in there. And the problem is that most of us, we are trying to live, we are trying to live a vision and not a dream. See that? You want to live we don't live a vision, we live a dream. See that? A vision is just something that you are planning to do, the future and all that stuff. If at all, in the future, you feel to say you are supposed to be renting a house, which is beautiful, well-towered, and, with a very high pay rents and all that stuff. If today you begin to live that vision, you stay in the house that is very expensive, like you are thinking to say you're going to live in it, but now you start living in it today, meaning that you have started living the vision and you're not living the dream. In that case, you are eating the seed and you never have the results. So the best thing that you can do is to actually get that seed, throw it in the ground, forget about it, let it germinate, and then you start having the fruits. It doesn't mean when someone is Lusaka, then they are better than you. No. Lusaka is only a place, and you can even live in there. Okay? But the thing is that life in Lusaka is different from life in Ndola. Life in Ndola is different from life in Kitwe. Life everywhere is different. Therefore, you need to measure your capacity before you can make such movements. Okay? You can do better in these places more than many of these big places. Okay? Right. So, the first one on the list, go to Mpulungu. That's number one. Go to Mpulungu. And these are the reasons why I feel you should go there. One, Mpulungu is not so much of a village. Okay? You find better roads there. You find electricity there. You find good housing there. And you find good shops there when you visit Mpulungu. Mpulungu is a nice place. It's a good place. Safe for business. And this Mpulungu, because of the lake, it is connected to 4 countries. You see that? So there's Burundi, there's Congo, there's also Tanzania and Zambia itself. So all these people from these countries, they come into Mpulungu, they are doing business there. Why? Because Mpulungu has been seen to be one of the busiest spreads in the place of Zambia as a small district, right? So you can actually consider doing that. Other reasons why you can be in Mpulungu is because, one, the land is cheap there in terms of shops, in terms of housing, and many other lands. They are just way too much cheap. The other thing is that there in Mpulungu you find there's cheap land. Like when you're buying land is cheap when you're buying there in Mpulungu, because it's one of those places where not so much is being done. So, people are trying to bring in main businesses and all that stuff. And the other reason why you can establish yourself there is because many of the things there, many of the businesses are not there. For example, you want to go to Lusaka, you start a business. The first thing that the business you want to start in Lusaka, you find that maybe 10 people are doing it. You find maybe 20 people are doing the same business you want to start. But when you go to places like Mpulungu, when you start a business, it will just be yourself. Okay? It will just be yourself. Not many people are doing a lot of businesses there. There are just few businesses. If I thought maybe you have competition, and this is one of the things that you should consider in business is competition, like what you want to do, like how many people are doing that, and how best can you beat those people. So like when you come to Mpulungu, there are several things that you can look at that are just way better and they are favoring you. Talk of so many, you don't have Zambia in Mpulungu. Right now, we don't have a butchery that is so special that can accommodate everybody. Like there is literally nothing. And we don't have big shops that can do wholesales and all that stuff. Maybe just groceries and all that. So Mpulungu is one of those places because it's really, really busy. So much business and so many other reasons like I've said. Okay. So the second place you can consider going to is actually Mbala. In late times, Mbala was actually the same with Mpulungu, and it was initially called Abicon. But for the time being, it was separated. Mbala is bigger than Mpulungu. It has got so many places, so many areas and all that stuff. And if you consider going there, most of the people that are found in Mbala, most of them are civil servants. That's a reality. As compared to Mpulungu, most of the people that you find there, they're actually businessmen, business people. As compared to Mbala, Mbala has got few people. Mbala has got few people that are, most of the people there that you'll be dealing with are civil servants. So it's also that great. So in Mbala also, not so many businesses, like not so much competition that I would say, as compared to Lusaka, Copper Belt, whatever. So there, it is also a nice place. Housing also is cheap, lands and shops, land, all these things are cheap to acquire. So it is one of the greatest places that you can actually visit and want to work from. And the other thing I would love to mention in both places is that it's cheap to do business. What I mean is that you don't have so many people to follow you, do this. As long as you visit the council, they give you the place, you start working. It's easy. It's easy to find a place to start working. Okay, it's very easy. You can access the place very, very easy as soon as possible. So Mbala is also one of the places you can consider if you want to establish a business as a startup. Right. Let us move again. Let's go to Senga. All these places I'm mentioning, they're just within Northern Province. Senga is also an emerging district. It is found between Kasama and Mbala, just there. Of late, it has been seen to be a place of great business there because it is just situated along the road. Most of the people that you find there, they are farmers. Okay, they are farmers and also many teachers they have taken there and other many civil servants. And understand that Senga, as you go typical, you find that there's a place where there are minerals there. So it makes the place very busy, being alongside the road and also these minerals. And this one, it's a village which is emerging into town a little by little. Therefore, if you can take a business, and I'm not sure if there's even a wholesale there in Senga. I don't even know if there's wholesale. Most of those people, when they want to buy something, they go to Kasama, they go to Nakonde and all those areas. So these are places you can consider if you want to be a starter without competition. In Kasama is a developing town and it has really developed so far. So many things have been done in Kasama. Yeah, so but I've seen people from Tanzania, they come there, they start wholesales and all that. So this is also a part of a place that you can consider. There, building is cheap. In northern province, I would say building is really cheap because it's easy to buy land. It's easy to to buy all these, to acquire all these building materials. So it's easy, and so rent also is not as expensive as Lusaka. In Kasama, you can find a house of 500, which is a very good house. In Kasama, I've been there. Kasama, I've lived there. In Kasama, you can rent a house for 400. You can rent a house even as far as small as 150, depending on the place that you are living with, you're living to. So these are places you can consider. Now, if you want to live in the Copper Belt, I'll tell you a place that is better. I've visited the place before. I've done business there, Mpongo district. Wow, this place is really busy. This place is really busy. And it's in between town and village. You see the point? It's not so much of a town, and again, it's not so much of a village. So this district is also it's also nice for starters. Like if you want to avoid a lot of stuff, you want to avoid a lot of expensive life. Pongo is one of them if you want to live in a copper belt, because they are also I like the fact that this place is busy. I like the fact that this place you can actually, in this place you can actually do greater things. Like you can literally sell anything in Mpongo. It's that busy. You can sell anything in Mpongo. So that's why I like Mpongo. Mpongo is a great place. So if you consider doing that, I think you can actually check out Mpongo. In addition, when you're in Copper Belt, you can also consider Luansha. Luansha is a good place also. I've lived there for some months and I've seen it. It's one of the welcoming places because one, housing is cheaper as compared to Ndola and the Kitwe. It's easy there to live there. Life is easy as compared to these big places, right? So it is one, you find a lot of stuff there, a lot of good, well-known businesses there. So it's that good place. It's that good business. So you can consider being there in Luansha. Luansha is not as complicated as these other business places. In Muchinga province, you can consider Shuangando. Shuangando is just a village. It's developing. Though people have built and housing there, acquiring a plot is cheap, but housing expensive. Therefore, if you want to do real estate, you can consider this one because it's developing and many people are going there. And it has no literally town. It has just Tun Timbers and all those. So this is one of the new districts as well, which is coming up very nice. So you can consider doing business there. These are good places, I'm telling you. And you can also consider Nsumbo. I don't know if you know it, but Nsumbo is also one of the great places. Nsumbo is nice. Nsumbo is really nice. Of late, it was part of Pulong, but it was cut off. Now it is under Ansama district. So those are the areas. If you take clothes there that are nice with cheaper prices, I'm telling you, you make good money. Nsumbo is great. You have to visit it. It's nice. It's Zambia, by the way. It's Zambia. Don't stick around in Lusaka. Don't stick around in Copper Belt. Don't stick around wherever you are. Explore, move in those places. You'd find that you may find and make a fortune from those places I'm talking about. So explore, my friend. Explore. Yeah, so that's about it. So these are some of the areas, if you are starting out in entrepreneurship, you can consider them because they are cheaper, they are nice, and all those reasons I've given you. So guys, this is where I end. If this video was helpful, like it, subscribe,